I had this thought growing up, that I'd lived the life of a poet stuck in constant back and forth conversations about philosophy and poetry and art in my dingy apartment living room in the East Village, New York. We'd all spend our time smoking cigarettes as our tongues and teeth slowly become stained red with wine, digesting dinner in our stomachs, digesting Neitzsche and Socrates in our minds. Clocks are useless when contemplating the purpose of time. I'd have a collection of jobs, no W-2s or worrying about checks going through. My bank account would be my pillowcase, rent never paid the day it's due, and Sundays would be brunch days, sitting outside even in the cold, windy days. And I'd go to church, not because I believed in God, but because the stained glass window spoke to my soul, and I loved the sound of an organ harmonizing with a choir of children. Me and my collection of outsiders would saunter around in peacoats we found at the thrift store on 7th and 2nd. We'd feel rich when we stopped at Venero's for an eclair. We'd feel poor when our pockets were empty, bare, because we just pulled our money and paid last month's rent. Time spent reading in cafes, writing in cafes, drinking in cafes, conversing in cafes, falling in love in cafes, falling out of love in cafes, writing a 300-page manuscript epic poem about the experience of falling in and out of love over coffee. Playing a game of Monopoly. Chewing the fat of forgotten poetry. But all of this can be nothing more than a fantasy. So I'll read Kerouac, Ginsberg, and Kiger. I'll stare at the art of those who roamed the halls of the Chelsea Hotel, cry while I listen to Joan Baez and Patti Smith, feel like I'm in hell because this isn't the life I get to live. But we can't cry over spilt milk. And we can't contemplate jazz without taking the time to listen to jazz. We can't live before we exist. I consume myself with the fear of things I've missed. Who says Twitter can't be poetry? Maybe cigarettes can be replaced with incense and CBD. On the road, hitchhiking could be a mess. Uber is safer, I guess. So I'll write my own poetry and prose. And maybe in 50 years, someone will look at my words, the paper marked with my pen, and say, if only I was born then.